We begin tonight with a family working through a serious tragedy. Last Tuesday, a mother and her 3 children were hit by a car while crossing a road in Spokane Valley last Tuesday.
2.5-year-old Thor spent the last week at Sacred Heart Medical Center before he passed away from his injuries. KREM 2's Janelle Finch joining us live in the studio tonight after speaking with Thor's father this afternoon, and she tells us how the family is honoring the life and legacy of their son. Janelle?
When I last spoke to Joshua Hendricks, he told me how his 2.5-year-old son Thor was fighting to stay alive. Today's conversation was much more somber, as we talked about the joy and love Thor gave his family and the world for 2.5 years.
He was my world.
Joshua Hendricks says the last 2.5 years of his life were a blessing because he got to know and love his son Jeffrey Thor.
If I knew that was going to be the last time with him, that I would just be holding him, telling him I love him, I'm going to miss him.
Thor was a big brother and little brother, but Hendricks says his role in the family was so much more.
His role was joy. He was very good at bringing the best out of everybody and bringing joy, and smiled at everybody's face that came in the door.
In Thor's absence, he says he's looking back on the little moments in a new light.
When he'd want to be held, he'd say, "Daddy, hold you, Daddy, hold you." Not understanding the "Daddy, I want to be held," but he'd say, "Daddy, I hold you, which he did. He held us more than we held him.
Hendricks says he's finding peace, knowing Thor isn't alone in heaven.
The day before, we had to make some tough decisions. After visiting with Thor, me and my wife were walking out, and I felt I could hear my dad say, "Hey, Josh, I got him." And that gave me peace, knowing that he's got him. He'll be watching over him and taking care of him in the meantime.
He says friends, family, and strangers have told him Thor's story inspired them to reconnect with their faith. Hendricks says he will continue to be the joy his son was to those around him. Hendricks says he will miss the moments he spent with Thor watching Oregon football, being outside, and playing with dinosaurs. As for the teenage driver, Washington State Patrol say the investigation is still open, but at this point, the driver is not facing any criminal charges. In the studio, Janelle Finch, KREM 2 News.